Hello there, Internet! I am your host, Jamie, and welcome back to Let's Play! Danganronpa, Trigger Happy Havoc. Where we left off, we got some good news and some bad news. The good news is, Hifumi's finally dead! The bad news is, so is Taka. Now, let's go over what we got so far. So, as I said, Hifumi and Taka were the guys that died, and that they were each hit on the head with a similar item. There was a tarp that was found in a repository that was underneath Taka's corpse. And that they were able to use it with Taka in order to avoid leaving bloodstains. However, a dolly was found when recovering the body from the repository. It has no handles. However, there is still blood on it. However, when we found Hifumi's body in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered in blood. However, when we found them in the repository, they were perfectly clean. We also found this hammer. A hammer that was completely wet and been recently been washed. I don't know if Monokuma cleans them, but sus. And when we leave this door, there's a door. It was locked when they were searching for the body, but it's somehow been unlocked. A puddle was found, and there was like a little a track, which might have been from that dolly. We also found this dummy thick anime bitch on a glass cleaning cloth that we found in the trash can that had blood on it. And considering that this is Hifumi's waifu, Celeste claimed that Hifumi's body disappeared when she and Hina went to use the bathroom. They had one job. They were also told to meet Yasuhiro, on the other hand, was who we think is the killer. Wrote that to meet someone in the dining hall. And meanwhile, Yasuhiro was dressed up as like a mecha character called Robo Justice. And they were found in this costume. Out of everybody in the school, only Yasuhiro could have been able to fit it in. In addition, anyone who wore this is not very agile. And Yasuhiro received a note that read, "I found a hole that escaped, and they told him to meet at 1 a.m. However, the other..." And we also noticed that on Taka's body, there was a wristwatch. His watch said it was on 6. But as of the night before, his watch was perfectly fine. We also found a piece of paper on there that said this. That was torn off. Hifumi had a similar note, which matched it, and it reads, and I quote, I found a hole to escape. Monokuma can't find out. And to meet at 6 a.m., which is the time Taka supposedly died. And finally, on this e-handbook, it was also a card key. The owner's name is displayed on there when it boot up. No one really believes that e-handbooks were used this time. Again, who would just kill this guy? He literally lost his best friend. And I said, now him I can understand. He's a dick. He's a fat weeb. All right, well, everything appears to be in order. Oh, Raz!
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, if you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Now then, to begin with...
We already know who did it.
Was that?
It was Hiro. He does not have an alibi for when the murders took place, and we found him in that suit. Don't try and deny it. You killed them.
I didn't! Someone knocked me out! I was asleep the whole time! I don't know anything about it!
Shut your murdering mouth, murderer!
Who are you calling a murderer?
I am sorry to say, Hiro, but we do have evidence. Blueprints for the suit. Parts we assume were used to build it. And all of it was found in your room. You have to admit, the evidence is quite compelling. It points to you as having created the suit and wearing it while committing crime at...
How many times do I have to tell? I don't know!
Is Hiro really a killer? No, he's too stupid. Yasuhiro's message.
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all...
No, it's wrong.
Are we sure Hiro really...
What do you mean?
Well, take a look at... It's the note that Hiro wrote, asking everyone to meet up after all... The handwriting's obviously different, wouldn't you say? When you compare it to the blueprints.
There's no way you could think the same person made both of them.
Unless that person made it a point to disguise their handwriting.
No, the differences are bigger than that, I think.
Come on! I'm not smart enough to think I've tried to change my handwriting.
So Makoto, are you saying you don't think Hiro's the culprit?
And he's not the only one. I think Hiro's innocent as well.
Wow.
Then who was in that Robo-Justice suit? Is it like Hiro said? Was there really someone running around?
The suspicious individual hidden with... Go ahead, Makoto.
So?
The Illuminati!
I got it! Other than Hiro, obviously he was the one in that particular suit. And we never found any
Then there can be no doubt. Hiro...
That doesn't make any sense.
It makes perfect sense. Hiro was the suspicious individual in the suit.
So what you're saying is...
That's right. The culprit in this case has nothing to do with being in the Robo-Justice.
What? Now that's a bold assumption. And what reason do you have to make such a statement?
Of course. But before we get to that, there's something else we need to clarify first.
Hey, stop trying to boss...
All things have a problem.
So what is it?
We must clarify the method of... It would seem that his corpse was moved using certain particular items. Makoto, can...
Thing we used talking about he must have been.
I got it!
There's still one more thing.
I got it! They were a dolly and a touch.
What was
So,
that?
let's see if I can explain. Taka's body disappeared from the equipment room. And then we rediscovered it, and when we found it for the second time, it was the same tarp that up until... So the killer must have seen it there, and decided to use it when they moved that way. They wouldn't leave any bloodstains while they were moving it.
Okay, that explains the tar. And the dolly?
Same thing. I'm sure the dolly was in the... But when the body disappeared...
I missed.
Later, when Taka's body reappeared in the repository, so did the doll.
In other words, you think they used the dolly to move. But are you sure you are?
Huh?
Are you absolutely positive that dolly was made specifically for moving large objects between the repository and the art room? It would be very strange indeed to discover it had made its way to the equipment room. Is it not possible that it was in the repository all along, and you simply didn't realize it?
She's raised an objection. How do you respond?
There is no shame in being wrong. Nobody expects much from you anyway. We have all accepted the fact that you rarely understand what is going on around you.
That's gonna change your mind. How about reloading? Starting at this battle. Screen underneath it, you'll see an ammo count. Until now on, just locking in, pressing X will be enough panel. Now you'll need 1 bullet to destroy. Once you have bullets, you can't save it, no matter how they locked on. However, you can reload pressing the Y button. Just like locking on, you need to press it. Basically, just remember that Y has a button and the A button, X button. You'll automatically reload start your time, you know? Alright, let's get to it.
You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. You miserable wretch. I cannot agree. You are a fool. Do your worst. You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. I cannot agree.
This should prove it.
Oh yeah, so somebody on YouTube I found out made a very disturbing
You're asking for proof that the dolly moved. I have it right here. When I found the dolly in the repository, one of the wheels had a blood stain. There was a pool of blood in the
scared
equipment
me,
room with a
and
tire mark in it that matched the dolly wheels. The killer probably rolled the dolly through the blood on accident. As they wheeled the body out of the room, and as the blood dried on the tire, they moved the body. So there's my proof that the dolly was used to...
Jeez, that's really
Well,
that much?
anyway,
Shades
that
everyone.
was just something we had to get out of the way. Let's get back to the main subject.
Yeah, the subject of how Robo Justice didn't do it. Because if it's
Yeah,
not
someone made like a
robot, then...
cardboard cutout, like a cult. Basically starting a religion of Saika. Basically made way too many cardboard cutouts of Saika. And another one. And basically, that Saika is best waifu in your religion. And Leon is the devil.
What kind of robot is it?
You know she wanted to kill him, right?
I'm not sure that really.
Right? She's not an innocent waifu that everyone thinks
I'd be
she is.
happy to explain why
She
the
wanted
occupant
him
of
to
the
go after
suit couldn't
Makoto.
Possibly be the killer. If you look back on how the body was transported, it will become immediately obvious.
Even if he did go to Makoto, come think of it. Even if he did go to Makoto's room, he probably would have realized, oh no, wait, wrong girl. All right.
As we know, Taka was killed in the equipment room. And from there, the body was moved to the repository.
Yeah, the culprit then loaded it onto the dock. No, keep in mind. Well, yeah. How you have to...
No, that's wrong. You're absolutely right that you could push a dolly without a handle if you stoop down low. But if you were wearing that suit, do you think back to what you said when we were all checking out the suit together, remember?
I believe the better here, keep on being only. That's not find anywhere on this thing, eh? There we go. It wasn't me. Not to mention, you can't bet your rights at all. Yeah, how did you not point that out, Hina?
When you're in that suit, not only can you not see your feet, am I right about that?
Now that you mention it,
It seems like it'd be awfully hard to push that dolly if you...
well, what's to stop you from simply pushing?
When you can't even see your feet? You really think someone could kick the...
Yeah, it'd be totally impossible. Not that I can say for sure myself.
On top of that, if you were wearing such a rigid, cumbersome suit, it's very unlikely you would have the dexterity to go about wrapping the body in a tarp.
Well, I mean, isn't that just a matter of taking off the suit when you're ready to move?
Alright,
I got it! I don't think taking off the suit was an option. If you remember...
I don't know how to get it up. I need help. Why would you make something you can't take off by yourself? I said I didn't make this stupid thing. There's a clamp in the back that's keeping it from getting it off. Very sorry.
That's true. It seems impossible to put the suit on.
Yeah, I like
Take it
watched
off
like a clip of
without
the anime, and I said before I'm not a big fan of the dub, and I
You really can't take it off by yourself?
like the one
You're
thing I
like
hate about the
just
dub.
making it up?
Something that I just can't help is that Monica Rial, of all people, was the actress who played. Was the chick who played Sayaka. And if you don't know, she also played that one Jesus girl from
Of course I wasn't making it up.
from Ghost Stories.
If he could have gotten it off by himself...
So now I just can't hear
I don't
Monica
think
saying,
he would
"Oh,
have let us see him
Shanil
wear it.
for
Showing up
Jesus."
in the suit was basically an invitation for everyone to...
Yeah, that's right.
So, it's really, really true that Robo Justice couldn't have moved the dolly?
To be clear, whoever did move the body, it couldn't have been Hiro in the robot suit, correct?
No, wait. Just a second, if you please. Have you forgotten about the picture that I took? You all got a good look at it, did you not? If whoever was in that suit is not the culprit, how do you explain that? Besides, do you remember what the now deceased Hifumi said?
How did you get hurt? The guy hit me. What guy? Robo Justice, that's what Copa do.
So long as those facts exist, the proper conclusion is beyond question. The individual inside the suit and the culprit are one and the same. It was Hiro, without a doubt.
You're very adamant sure that it was Hiro.
Yeah.
Again, Hiro's too
That's gotta be right.
stupid to kill someone, even if it...
Hold on a second.
It's still far too early to reach that conclusion. Besides,
I'm actually... He's more likely to be a victim than a killer.
Before we rush to a verdict, shouldn't we explore every single possibility? Instead of seizing on one viewpoint, the truth is uncovered by analyzing.
Perhaps, but where do we go from here?
Let's review this series of unfortunate events from the beginning.
I love those
Maybe we'll
books.
uncover something new.
What a pain in the ass!
I don't disagree, but our lives are on the line. If this is what it takes.
Plus, maybe we'll get to find out where the heck Kyoko was when everything went.
All right then. Let's take an. I suppose we could. 4 of us gathered together in the dining hall. Makoto, Hina, Kyoko, and myself. We waited there for quite a while, but nobody else showed up. That was around 8.
And as soon as we split up,
Soon after that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room and quickly came to get Makoto and me.
it seems I was unconscious for about an hour after I was attacked by my mystery assailant. I know it was an hour because I remember being attacked a little after 7.
That was when we saw Celeste's picture and discovered that her assailant had been wearing a strange costume. As it turns out, it was Robo-Justice. It also soon became clear that this same Robo-Justice had abducted Hifumi. We were soon joined in our search by Byakuya and Toko, and then went on to find Hifumi in the library. He was injured, so we took him to the nurse's office, but not long after...
What's wrong, peasant? It's a shadow. Something moving around at the top of the stairs.
When Celeste told us that, we decided to split up and search the second, and soon after that,
I saw someone moving around on the 3rd floor, and I yelled out to everyone as...
Says it's Rogi! Don't know it had screamed someone like you. I saw him, a strange costume man. He ran off soon as I was screaming. I was blocking the stairs. So he headed those stairs hallway, disappeared.
and then,
Yeah! What is it? I came downstairs, it must have been Hifumi. He's in the nurse's office.
at that point, we decided to divide up into 2 groups. Celeste, Hina, and I went back, while Sakura, Byakuya, and... When we got back to the nurse's office, and that's when we heard the body discovery announcement. I left Celeste and Hina there and headed back to the 3rd floor to let the others know what had happened.
Meanwhile, we had just discovered Taka's body. We must have found both bodies at almost exactly the same time, because we heard the same announcement not long after we
And that's when I told you guys about Hifumi. Then the 3 of us headed for the nurse's office. But right after we left the physics lab, we ran into Celeste, who'd arrived after us, and she told us something very surprising. We rushed back to the nurse's office and saw that she was right.
Then we remembered we'd left Toko passed out in the equipment room, so we hurried back again.
It can't be happening. Am I hallucinating or something?
But when we got there, we discovered that now Taka's bot. Next thing we knew, we were searching the... And after...
Celeste informed us that she'd found the bodies, and we all headed to the
Celeste.
repository, which is where we rediscovered the corpse.
Yeah.
I think that about covers it.
Apparently, the Ace Attorney fan base has a So in Ace Attorney, there's a term called third case syndrome. Basically, in pretty much every game in that series, the third case is usually the worst one.
I see.
Because
The
for
whole
one,
thing
not
sounds
only is like the
exceptionally
plot of that
complicated.
one usually like not great and has nothing to do with like the ongoing plot, which there really aren't like a lot of an Ace Attorney, if I'm being honest. I mean, I've only played 4.5.
It certainly seems to me that these are
I
not
only
a
played through
simple
the original
series of
trilogy,
connected events.
Investigations, and half of Apollo Justice before dropping the series.
Okay, well, if that's true, then what?
Rather than a single series of events, I think we have to consider, and from there, we can uncover the contradictions.
Yeah, I won't be
surrounding all of
surprised
them.
that clown chick.
Now then, let's get started, beginning with what happened to Taka.
Please tell me that she was... Alright, so what happened to Taka? Alright, now we...
So, regarding Taka, I wonder if he, or perhaps it was, we already know what order they were killed. Taka came last.
What makes you say
Because of the number.
No, it's wrong. Hold on. There's no reason to assume that the hammers were used in the same order as their numbers. If anything, that's just another way the killer tried to disguise their actions.
So you're saying the culprit wanted us to think the hammers were used in order,
Oh...
but in reality, Taka was killed before Hifumi?
She was from the
Okay,
fourth
then.
case.
Let's see the proof.
Evidence that Taka was killed before Hifumi. Alright, so as I said before,
Now I understand.
in Ace Attorney, the third case is usually like the worst one that doesn't have to do with it. Yeah, this series has third case syndrome too.
See? Look.
It must have
This is just a
gotten
filler
broken when he was
case
attacked
to
by the
kill off
killer,
other characters.
Because as of last night,
I mean... Taka's extremely Scottish voice pierced through the air, and he pointed at his which one.
so if it wasn't broken after 6 last night, then he must have been attacked around 6 this.
And that would be his official
But if that's true, then he was.
and before Celeste was attacked this morning.
That's right. Taka was killed before any of.
That simple fact slipped past all of us, and we made the wrong assumption about the order of events, all because of those justice hammers.
That's exactly why the culprit wrote the numbers on each hammer and had them increase in that way. When we saw how they were used in the incident, we
Now, if Taka was killed around 6, then everyone's alibis for his murder go out the window because when he was killed,
That may be true in the case of Taka's murder, but all of our alibis
Yeah,
still
once
hold true for Hifumi's death.
So I really want to see like what Sayaka's actress thinks of the Sayaka cult.
That's right.
Where is he? Come downstairs. It must have been in the nurse's office. It's bad. Go on, everyone. We have to go down.
When we heard Hifumi screaming, then we all ran down to the nurse's office. That's totally true. We're all in the clear.
Oh, I know! They must have recorded him screaming on a tape or something.
If that's true,
I don't know.
don't just go making.
Anyway, We all have
Maybe it
rock-solid
exploded.
alibis for when, since all of us were there together. Clearly, none of
And it does not stop there. When his body vanished from the nurses, Hina and I were in the bathroom together, and then there's the disappearance of Taka's body. At that time, we were all gathered together in the nurse's office because of Hifumi going missing.
Well, don't forget, I was passed out in the equipment room the whole
Wait, then what if Genocide Jill did it? She could have dragged Taka's body out of there.
First of all, Hifumi is not who she would call an adorable boy. Second of all, Tako's already taken by Mondo.
Even if she could pull that off, there's no way she could have done the same with Hifumi's body.
Also, neither were crucified.
Because, as we just established, she was passed out in the equipment room when his body disappeared.
That too.
Besides, I didn't do either of them anyway.
In other words, it is impossible that any of us could have killed Hifumi. On the other hand, Hiro and Kyoko had disappeared, so they most certainly could have done those things.
For now, we can't get fixated on who did it, or we'll just keep going around. So instead of who, I propose. In particular, I think we need to figure out how
That's true. We searched everywhere, but we couldn't figure out how to explain his. And according to what Celeste,
They could have been gone for no more than a minute or two, though. So they could have some kind of get around the move from his body in that short amount of time. That was
his body apparently disappeared in the 1 minute her and Hina took their eyes off of. But to carry that much weight from the first floor up to the.
Oh man, yeah. There's no way. It'd be impossible.
Well, what if I told you there was a way to make the impossible possible?
What? How?
If the dead body were to move itself.
The dead body moved on its own?
No, not another ghost.
I don't think it has anything to do with the occult. I think what she's implying is we thought Hifumi
maybe
was
Disco
dead,
Jesus moved to here,
perhaps
because
in
remember,
reality, he was
in this
still alive.
timeline, Disco Jesus is a member of Hope's Peak,
Alive?
the ultimate disco partier.
Are you saying Hifumi wasn't carried out of the nurse?
But I mean, we found his body. He was dead.
Perhaps he was simply playing dead.
That it isn't.
Well, his glasses were clean.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office,
There's a chance he was.
No.
It is Hifumi was dead. And you know that surely you heard the body
Hifumi's dead body had been and that is why the announcement was.
Are we really?
Maybe the announcement was intended.
Does it have to do what you have to, said? I'm gonna do it.
Shoot!
Are you saying that when we first there's a chance he was?
No.
It is Hifumi was dead. And you know that surely you heard the body Hifumi's
Dead body had been.
and that is why. Are we really set?
Maybe the announcement was someone else's discovery.
Sure, Viceroy.
Are you saying that when we first
there's a chance he was
actually no? Hifumi was dead. And you know that
Surely you heard the body discovery and Hifumi's dead body.
No, it's wrong. Was the body discovery announcement that was made really?
Of course it was. The announcement played right after.
Maybe. But that was also the same time that.
That's right. It wasn't long after finding his body that we heard the announcement.
So there's a good chance we've made a mistake. I think we've confused whether the.
First of all, if two bodies had been...
Maybe Monokuma simply got lazy and
What do you say, Monokuma? Any comment?
Well, it's a very sensitive issue, so I can't go into too much detail. But what I can say about the body discovery announcement, it's only broadcast when 3 or more people people find a dead body.
That didn't answer our question, man. We're asking if you're a lazy bum.
No, actually, that was plenty. He said it's only broadcast when a body is discovered for the first time. Even if we find the same body again later, he won't make the announcement. If that's true, then why was the announcement made again later on?
Huh? Later on?
Exactly. We heard the body discovery announcement twice.
Second body announcement is played.
I got it! We heard it a second time in the repository when we rediscovered the two bodies.
Ding dong dong ding! A body has been discovered! After a certain amount of time, which you may use how you like, the class trial will begin!
It didn't seem weird at the time, but it contradicts what Monokuma just told.
Exactly. If we were actually rediscovering both bodies, the announcement...
And in reality, when the two dead bodies were rediscovered, one of them was actually being discovered for the first time.
So when we found Hifumi the first time in the nurse's office, he wasn't actually dead. Meaning, he wasn't actually found dead until we came upon him in the repository.
And that's just part. There's one other thing that leads me to believe.
Oh, I know! Because he was super good at playing dead! Bada bing, bada boo!
That is the worst logic I have ever heard.
Of all type.
But honestly, I do not think there's anything that can prove he was still alive.
Okay then, let's take another look at the events surrounding the discovery of his body. Then it should become clear whether he was really alive or not.
This whole thing is pointless.
Well, here's one thing we do. The first time we found him, and then his body disappeared.
And the next time we saw it was in the...
But when you compare his body before the other change in how it was, there was no notable.
Ah, you're looking pretty sus, Celeste. You're looking pretty sus.
In fact, there was one clear difference between Hifumi and the nurse's office and his glasses. That fact alone proves that he was
Yeah,
only
you're making
playing
a
dead in
lot
the
of
beginning.
contradictions,
Perhaps
Celeste.
you'd like to fill the rest of us in.
When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, but when we found him again later in the repository, they were and I found the item he used.
Yeah, Kiox's evidence is...
I got it! It was a glasses cleaning cloth featuring a certain cartoon One look at the bloodstain on the cloth should make things clear. This piece of cloth was used to wipe Hifumi, and the mascot on the cloth is the same one that's on the digital. And whose digital camera was it? Hifumi's, of course.
The character was Princess Higgles from Demon Angel Pretty Pudgy Princess, I think.
I highly
Sure,
doubt
we
anyone
gotta talk
but
to Sandra even
Hifumi
more. It's like,
would
what
have
the
brought
fuck did I
something
just
like
read?
this to school.
Eh, milk in the bag. She loves milk.
I see your point. And the only people here who wear glasses are...
I wouldn't be caught dead using a tacky piece of garbage like that.
Yeah. Byakuya is a man of talent. And wealth.
A few tissues is all I need to keep my glasses clean.
Are you sure about that?
Then there's no question. It belonged to Hifumi.
So what you're saying...
What I'm saying is, the blood on his glasses was wiped away using his own glasses cleaning cloth.
Even if that is true, it does not mean he wiped the blood off himself.
I also use my shirt.
But who would benefit from a clean pair of glasses other than the glasses owner?
That's a good point.
And it must have been him, right?
So let's assume that Hifumi was still alive in the nurse's office. He pretends to be dead. Then when he's alone, he wipes his glasses clean so he can see. Then he stands up and walks out on his own. And with that, the impossible task of moving his copious corpse.
But then, if he was just pretending to be... What was with all that blood? Was it paint or something?
No.
The fridge in the nurse's office contains packs of blood for emergency.
He figured if he was gonna play dead, he should go all out. So he just dumped it Everybody got crazy with it and had to wipe his glasses off when he was done.
And if Hifumi was still alive at that point, the disappearance of Taka's body is
You
easily
know,
explained.
what? Another alternative would be, why not just wear a different pair of glasses? Hear me out. Why not put the glasses in a glasses container and the bloody ones in a glasses container? Change your glasses so that you can change glasses so that to move Taka's and your own dummy thick ass. And then when you're about to be discovered again, wear the bloody pair.
It should be perfectly obvious who must have moved.
I got it! It could only have been Hifumi.
While we were all gathered in the nurse's office, he went to the equipment room and took Taka's body.
That also explains how the door to the repository got locked.
The door was locked?
Well, after the bodies disappeared, we all went looking for them, right? So me and Sakura headed for the repository. But when we got there...
Yeah, as I
the
said,
door was locked.
there was actually like a stage
And the
play based on this
repository
game,
door can only
and
be locked from the inside.
that stage play
Which means
apparently cut
if
this
Hina and
whole
Sakura
chapter
got to
out.
the repository, someone was
Basically,
already
as we're having a Taka, basically
And it
there
could
was
only
a
have been
rule.
Hifumi, who just finished stashing Taka's
There was a
body.
rule where if I already brought this up beforehand, but this rule where Taka, where if you voted wrong, you get executed alongside the blackened.
He convinced us all he was dead, and when he saw his chance, he dragged Taka's body to the repository. So, Hifumi wasn't just another victim.
But that means
I just can't believe it.
If you're having trouble, would you like me to show you one more piece of...
There's more?
Oh, absolutely. The single biggest fact pointing to his involvement has yet to be revealed. You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto?
The item, Hifumi.
I got it! You're talking about the note Hifumi had hidden away, aren't you?
Hidden note?
That's right. We found it stuffed in his pants.
What? In his... pants?
Pants? They have pants?
yes, his pants.
Yes! Note in pant!
Okay, well, forget about the pants for now. Let's take a look at what the note said.
I found a hole that he has to escape. Monoko can't find out, so only one else escape.
That's the note I was telling you about. The one that told me where... Huh? Wait, this one's a little different. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now.
I see. Then this note isn't the same one Hiro put.
It's not the same?
In other words, the killer got in touch with another person besides Hiro, and that person could only have been... I got it! That's right!
Hifumi's pant?
Taka! The killer used this note to dry out Taka and murder him.
Hello? Over here! Objection! I don't really understand what's going on, but Hifumi had that letter, right? So whoever wrote it wasn't drawing out TikTok, they were drawing out Hubby!
Just to be clear, TikTok is Taka and Huffy is Hifumi, right?
No, TikTok's a shitty YouTube ripoff.
Ugh, yes! Why must you ruin it every time?
Jesse, Jack is terrifying. Can I get to me?
Puppy had the note, right? Then the person it was in must have been Hubby!
But remember what the note said.
What time did it say? 6 a.m.
The time doesn't matter! The note has nothing to do.
No.
Yeah.
wrong.
Oh god. Yeah, one of my favorite things I ever saw was like when Taka's actor like did like a thing at
There
a con
absolutely is
where
a
he says,
connection.
"I let the cool kids say, May Don." Taka. Of course, Taka be the kind of guy that would say May.
The note said to meet at 6 a.m. You've already proven that, but there's more. The equipment room, right?
Which is where Taka was.
So, Taka was murdered at both the time. I think that should be plenty to show that this note was.
Well, would
No further objections!
Then someone used that note to trick Taka. Just the same as. The culprit really.
But if they gave the note to Taka,
Stuffed down his pants, no less!
Most likely. Hifumi stole it off Taka's.
he stole it?
Where's your proof? Go ahead, show us.
Choice, peasant.
I got it! When I searched Taka's body, I saw that his lifeless hand was gripping a small scrap of paper. If I'm right about this, I knew it! It fits perfectly with the note we found hidden on Hifumi.
Then Taka's scrap.
Yup, they're from the same piece.
Hifumi had the note meant for Taka, while Taka's corpse still grasped a small. There's only one.
Taka died clutching the note. Hifumi tried to free the note from its death grip, leaving behind only. Did I get all that right?
That means Hifumi knew the note was important.
Exactly. Which proves that he was an accomplice in the murder.
Whoa. Yeah. After seeing all this, in fact, he was behind the whole thing. In fact.
Sorry. When we found him in the repository, the second body discovery announcement proves that.
So then, who killed?
Whoever did is the mastermind.
He was killed in the repository. So he must have been killed not long.
So, he must have been killed after Taka's body vanished.
During that time, we'd all split up and were searching for Taka's missing body. In other words, during that time,
Wait, but me and Sakura.
Stop trying to steal the spotlight, you.
Who are you calling a?
Anyway, when they were killed bothers me too. But there's something that's been bothering me even more.
And what might that be?
The weapon they used to kill him.
The weapon.
Yeah. Because, I mean, the way Taka and Hifumi were killed was almost the same. But Justice Hammer 3 and 4 were still laying around in the... So if Hifumi was killed, the culprit would have had to grab one of the hammer, then put the hammer back. But wouldn't that be serious?
I'm surprised. It seems there's some semblance of a
Yeah,
brain
because
knocking
the
around that
hammer
skull
was
of yours.
used.
Hell yeah, it's packed.
Well, the
in
hammer
there
they found was
good and
very, very clean.
He's right, though. The Monokuma file makes it clear that they were killed using similar. But if the hammers were already laying around.
So the question is, how could the culprit have gotten their hands on either? Personally, I haven't. So which hammer was used to attack Celeste? Number one.
Those were accounted for in other rooms too.
Is it not possible they used...
I don't think it is possible. They were both killed with the same kind of...
So then, what was you? What was used to kill?
Was it Justice Ham? Maybe Justice Ham. Well, what is one? How was the culprit? How did nobody read?
Sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its appearance. Check out murdergear.com/hammertime for more info.
Well,
Please tell me
okay,
that's a
Chief.
real
The
thing.
murder weapon. One of the Justice Hammers. And, that's about it.
I see. It's what you're saying is. I have no idea.
Shoot!
Damn it.
What was used to... Was it justice? Maybe justice hammer.
Well, whatever. There's one. How was the culprit? How did nobody leak?
Sounds like a justice hammer plot. Check out murdergear.com.
Well, what's the murder weapon? No, it's wrong. The murder weapon wasn't a justice hammer at all. No, it was something completely different.
But seriously?
Specifically, a hammer from the repository. The killer could have easily used that to kill Hifumi. Now, all the hammers in the repository were covered in flecks of grit and debris. But for some reason, one of them had been scrubbed clean.
Huh?
And the reason it had been scrubbed clean was most likely because it was used to commit murder. If the hammer got covered in Hifumi's blood, of course they'd have to clean it off. I'd also like to point out that the repository has all kinds of hammers. Big ones, small ones, and even some flat mallet-like ones. I think whoever made the Justice Hammers used those as a basis for their design.
If that's true, that would explain the Monokuma file's note about the wounds being similar.
So Hifumi moved Taka's body to the repository, where someone then used a hammer to kill him.
Whoever did that is the true killer. The one Hifumi was working with. And the one who betrayed him. Hold on a moment. The way the graduation rule works, there is no... So the idea that anyone would work together like that is simply ludicrous.
Yeah, we work together. Hold on 1 second.